Hey guys, welcome back. BDC Gear here. We're back with a weekly recap for the week of the 18th of October 2018. But more importantly, this is a full recap for Update 3.0 and a partial recap for 3.0.1, whatever information we currently have for the patch, because we haven't been able to verify everything, as you'll hear a little later. So
yeah, and I wanted to point out too that we're gonna maybe do a quick recap from the week before, just for the record, and also because we missed it when the new update dropped and we had so much new content.
But we're gonna motor through the boring stuff. So last week's challenge was Rebirth Green Arrow. Last week's multiplayer was Reverse Flash. This week's challenge is Blackest Night Batman. That's a 1 week repeat. The required characters are Catwoman, Nightwing, and Joker. Bronze, and silver. So pretty good, pretty easy to actually earn Blackest Night Batman, which is good. And then to finish this up, this week's multiplayer reward is Flashpoint Deathstroke. This is, I think, the 4th season. So
yep,
we're going to be seeing a lot of more legitimate Elite 10 Deathstrokes soon. And we're going to talk about the store a little bit later here because the store also has new stuff. It falls under the same umbrella. So why don't we start talking about what's new? Why don't you take it away?
All right, so there's the 2 new cards. They are both a new class. So previously we had bronze, silver, and gold. Now we have metal. There's the Merciless, which is moves and does specials like Ares.
But it's actually Wonder Woman, Batman.
Yeah, and the Batman Who Laughs, which does everything like the Joker.
It's a Joker Batman.
Right, and we've got preview videos on both of them. We'll link to the playlist of all our 3.0 videos in the top right corner. And I think the upshot is that they are going to take forever to max out.
Yeah, forever.
Really low levels. Oh yeah, they are much better than other cards at low levels because they've got the highest base stats ever, about twice as high as the previous top gold tier base stats. But it's going to take a huge amount of time or money or both to max them out. And maybe I should share something that I've already posted in the official forums. And it's a bit of the math, right? So the place where you can really get them, I mean, Phantom Zone, there's a chance, but it's so far it's been a one-time through the Phantom Zone event. What we're looking at is the Nth Metal Pack, which takes 400 Nth Metals. The cards not listed in the loot box drop rate are Arkham Origins Batman, Blackest Night Doomsday, Godfall Superman, and Zatanna.
And it might be useful. You can buy the Nth Metal in a variety of different in-app purchases, and the price turns out to be, usefully for us, pretty consistent. It's about 10 cents per Nth Metal.
Yeah, usually they give a better price when you buy more. It doesn't seem like it's happening here. Yeah, 10 cents per piece. And so that means you're paying about $40, the equivalent of $40 for a pack.
Yeah.
Based on the information that we found out with the hacked accounts, the metal characters take 44 copies to fully elite them, because there's a new mechanic where it takes more copies to promote the higher you get. So it goes from the first copy gets you, Elite 0, one more copy to Elite 1, and then each level after that becomes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and then when you finally hit Elite 7, it's costing you 12 copies to get there. And with only a 3.5% chance of either metal card in the pack, that means that, on average, it's taking you 1,260 packs to get 44 copies of either.
And on average, that would also mean that you're likely to get around that number for both.
Right. So think about it like this then. 1,260 packs, 400 pieces of Nth Metal per pack, 10 cents per piece of Nth Metal. The math is ridiculous. That's more than $50,000 to get them at Elite 7.
Yeah, and when you think about it, it's either that much money or a huge amount more time, because from the way Phantom Zone works right now, you get it so slowly that getting one copy of any of the metal characters could take months pretty easily, depending on how often Phantom Zone even comes back, because we're not 100% sure yet.
Right, and so we're looking at years. Years for maxing them out legitimately. And there's been talk about people who maybe, what I think the term you used was whales, right?
Yeah, the idea is that 99% of an app's income comes from 1% of the app's player base.
Right. So I'm sure there are whales, but spending $50,000 is so much different than spending, a couple $100, right?
Yeah.
And so my position really is that there's nobody spending 50 grand to max out those cards. And so here's the thing. I mean, you could actually make it more efficient by using the airplane refund glitch to make sure that you only need to buy exactly 44 packs for each of the new metal cards.
Yeah.
But in that case, 44 packs, you're still spending $1,760.
So still an absolutely insane amount of money.
Right, for each though. In that case, it's for each because it's not the random drops for the pack, and you're gonna be spending $3,500 for both of them. And so there's a funny dichotomy here, right? So you need to be impatient enough to spend the $3,500 to get all the copies, but in order to spend only $3,500 and not $50,000, you need to be patient enough to reset the nth metal pack every time you buy it, and you don't get the card that you want.
Yeah.
And I'm going out on a bit of a limb here and saying the number of people who are willing and able to do that is pretty much zero.
Yeah.
And I guess we already touched on one of the new things about Update 3.0. There's 2 new currencies. There's the nth metal for packs and Valorium Alloy, which at this point looks like they're only useful for upgrading the metal cards, specials, and passives.
Yeah. And so, obviously, we mentioned it. There's a new game mode, the Phantom Zone. And the Phantom Zone is not a great game mode for earning the new currencies. It's got bad drop rates. It's probably worse if you complete the crystals at the lower difficulty levels. We've got a video demonstrating finishing the Phantom Zone at 11 times with all 5 crystals at the highest elite difficulty level. And we got Mortal Kombat X Scorpion. We got 3 copies. We got Mortal Kombat Scorpion, Shazam, Teen Titans Cyborg, or sorry, Teen Titans. I said Team Titans. I don't know why. Arkham Knight Batman, the most interesting out of the drops, Regime Superman, Regime Wonder Woman, Boss Solomon Grundy, and Green Lantern Sinestro. So it seems like we got a better distribution than some of the people who completed some crystals on lower difficulties. But we've also had reports of people completing it at lower levels and getting, like, the new metal characters. So it seems like what it's doing is at the lower difficulty levels, the odds are just worse. In the high difficulty levels, it seems to almost make it very difficult to get really, really crappy rewards, and you instead get mediocre rewards.
Right. I think maybe it's that there's a fixed amount of or fixed likelihood of getting one of the medals no matter what you do, and then the other chances are going to be affected more by what type of crystals you got.
Yeah, and so if that's the case, the problem with that is if you have everything, you just do it on easy mode. If that's how it works. I mean, we're not sure yet, but that doesn't seem inaccurate to me based off of the results that we've seen where people are like, oh yeah, I did it on all easy and I got the medal. So if that's the case, it might actually just make more sense to do it on the easiest difficulty every time.
Here's the other thing too. You pointed out Arkham Knight Batman is the most interesting. So based on the distribution we've got a combination of some characters that are already unlocked in the store from the start. We've got some that are pack exclusives, namely Shazam and Arkham Knight Batman. Yeah. And we've got I believe Boss Solomon Grundy and the Scorpions. We've got some challenge characters.
Yeah, so
there may not be a limitation. So for those who actually need them, maybe it is worth a little bit, because then the secondary prize is not great, but still better than picking up bronze, I'm going to say.
For sure. Yeah, and so a lot of people have been asking about when it comes back, and when you beat Phantom Zone, it disappears once you complete the 5th crystal, and we don't know when or if it's supposed to come back. We were hoping after 1 week. Now we're hoping for 1 month. At this point, we really don't have enough information to know what's going on. If they just keep only dropping the new currencies with Phantom Zone, it's going to be a very, very long time. So I'm hoping that there's something else. Maybe they're going to alter the drop rates. There's something going on, and at the very least I was hoping previously that it would be every week kind of thing, but now that's kind of up in the air too, so I'm really kind of uncertain where they're going with this metal character.
Yeah, we haven't been getting enough information.
Yeah, we haven't been getting much information at all. There's a lot of stuff to figure out and not a lot of information to go off of.
Right. So in the store, a couple interesting things. Well, more than a couple interesting things. We already mentioned the nth metal pack that costs 400 pieces with the chance of the real star is the metal characters, 3.5% each. There's a Blackest Night Hawk Girl cash pack, and as with most cash packs, it's not worth it. But then we get to the really interesting part. So there's 2 packs for power credits.
Yeah.
There's the Eternal Enemies, which is basically a Batman and Joker pack. We've got a previous pack opening video. We'll link to that, and it's okay. There's a couple of powerful guys that might be worth it. So that's the Ninja Lord, the Batman Ninja Batman one, and then Batman Ninja Lord Joker.
Yeah.
Except we've also got the Red Sun pack back, which I think is a better deal, and maybe we should be calling it the Red Sun Solomon Grundy. Because the challenge packs. Remember the challenge packs where they'd name it after somebody, and there's a 3% chance of getting any of the other challenge pack characters, but there's a 6% chance of getting this one.
A really bad chance.
Right, 3% more. Well, you can see from the drop rates that they even give you that everybody there's a chance of 16%, but Red Sun Solomon Grundy is 20%, which is 4% more. And I know it's not double 3% like it is for the other ones, but still,
we're manipulating the statistics. One of the ways to look at it, which is an absolute change, is greater. Although its proportional change is much smaller. So it's the Red Sun Solomon Grundy pack by a little bit of a pedantic choice, but I think it's fair. It's funny that they give, you can tell that they know that Solomon Grundy's the crappiest.
Solomon Grundy's the worst.
They're not even trying to hide it. It's not like, it depends on what you like. They're like, nah, this guy's crap.
Yeah, so here's the thing: the Red Sun pack is an excellent pack. If it weren't there, I think that it was worth maybe buying a few Eternal Enemies pack. But if you've got the power credits, Red Sun pack is the best. It's got the...
If you got the power credits and don't have the guys.
Yeah, Red Sun Green Lantern on a Red Sun team makes multiplayer so much better and so much easier because his passive that gives everybody on every Red Sun member on the team immunity from stun and reduced special damage and no crit damage makes them a great multiplayer team.
Exactly. Okay, now let's move on to the glitches and the unofficial stuff because there's a lot of stuff to talk about here too. Survivor, still broken on Android. Given Suicide Squad companion gears, we were hoping that the update would fix it. Didn't pan out. Now I guess I'm just hoping at some undetermined date in the future it'll be fixed. There's also a bunch of broken things with Update 3.0 and some fixed things in Update 3.0.1. So Power Start passives and Razagul Simtar were broken. That's like Batgirl, Arkham Origins Batman. If you're supposed to start the game and not have to do anything and just instantly get power, it wasn't working, and it's now fixed in 3.0.1, right? Yeah.
Arkham Knight Batman still has a pause, though, before he gets his 2 bars. So they fixed everything else. He's still got a problem. He gets his 2 bars if you pick that as his Wayne Tech passive, but it still seems like there's a delay of something. I don't know what, which means he's a lot less effective because you can't just quickly drop a special on somebody.
The 2 bars aren't actually as good as they used to be. It's not the way people who start with power have it. It's actually more of a handicap now.
Right. And I think somebody was asking if Gaslight Batman was maybe nerfed. I think somebody else pointed out, and I think this somebody else is right, that Gaslight Batman was only supposed to punish the tag-ins with his firebomb sometimes, that he was supposed to have a chance at that, and they've probably fixed it so that they've reduced it from, it seemed like 100% down to something
manageable,
significantly less.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's just random enough, right, that you maybe don't want to necessarily tag in all the time right away because it might hurt you, but...
Okay. So there we go. Moving on to current glitches. Remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. We're Android only, so we're only able to confirm these glitches for Android. And here's an interesting note about the playlist. If you've been watching it, we've updated stuff. So we've already been updating things. We've changed titles and descriptions. We've changed the glitches that are in the playlist. So this is a great example of people, if you don't want to wait for the recap to come out, because it does come out at a pretty regular schedule unless we miss weeks, you don't have to wait. You can check our playlist and that'll show you everything that we currently believe is working as far as glitches go.
Right, like you were saying too. So the best example is the glitch for unlimited multiplayer season rewards is no longer working. it was fixed with update 3.0 and it hasn't been unfixed with 3.0.1. Here's the thing. Also, it lasted 17 weeks.
Yeah. Gave us more than enough time
think,
to take advantage of it, really.
Sure. If that's longer than any previous glitch for power credits or gear. So, I guess two things. Then if you don't have enough credits, I don't know when the next glitch is going to be coming out for power credits, so it might be tough slog for a while. But we also already updated the thumbnail, the description, and the title for that video a few days ago. So that goes to your point about, if you don't want to wait for our weekly, then the information is there.
Yeah. The glitch to get season rewards early still works, though. And we've confirmed that on the current Flashpoint Deathstroke season, so it's still valuable.
But only the one time. Yeah, I think some commenters aren't really understanding how we're separating the two, because some people are saying that, well, I got it early once. How come I couldn't do it again?
Yeah, because they're
even though while acknowledging they can't
so
get it repeatedly.
This is a perfect example of why even when a glitch uses two different principles, if there's two fundamentally divorced processes working at play, they're two glitches in our eyes. So one of them's broken, the other one still works. If you play in the first hour and you get to top 1% really easily, you can just grab it, or top 3%.
Right.
You can just grab it right away and then you're done. Or if you pick a couple days in and you just play a bunch all at once and you don't want to have to maintain your standing, you just want to grab your stuff and go. This lets you cut down on the amount you play, and it guarantees that you know exactly how many points you need to get the rewards, because you only need to reach the bare minimum before cashing out early.
Right. Yep. You don't need to worry about getting knocked down as the season progresses. All right. And speaking of the new Phantom Zone, there's a Phantom Zone glitch that lets you motor through it quickly, maybe about an hour if you do it perfectly.
Yeah, we've got a link in the description.
Yeah, some comments have been saying that it stopped working with update 3.0.1, but because we've actually finished all the Phantom Zone events and we can't bring it back, we're going to need to check when the Phantom Zone event comes back.
Yeah, so we'll see. As of now, we believe it is still working, because we always get comments saying that it's patched, and oftentimes it's not.
Right. The breakthrough glitch to let you play repeatedly still working, and there's cut and pasted into the description a comment from a viewer with a potential solution. We can't confirm whether it works because we haven't been having the same problem.
Both challenge reset methods are working, both the one that requires Google Play Cloud Save and the one that doesn't. We've confirmed that on Blackest Night Batman, and even though it might seem more of a hassle to do, the one that requires Cloud Save, it's the better one to do, because you get an extra backup. You have WBID being one ideally, helium and titanium in addition to that, and Google Play Cloud Save. So then you've got a bunch of different storages, right? So you've got in a minimum of 3 places, maybe 4, maybe 5 if you're really security conscious.
Right. So the airplane mode / refund glitch is still working. It's good for both packs with random drops, also known as loot boxes, and last laugh tickets. I really want to be clear and point out it does not work in the Phantom Zone for us, even though some users have been reporting that they've been able to get it work. I suspect it's because they are iOS. Because in Android, at least, it requires an online connection, and if I try to finish the last boss battle for the 5th crystal without a connection in airplane mode, it just tells me there's no connection, and then it boots me out. So we're going to test it again, but we're going to need more Phantom Zone events to do that.
Yeah, so there we go. Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. Again, a reminder to turn the countdown clock back to normal before you finish.
Free energy without having to watch the video, it actually works. And we can say that it works with authority because it's happened to us. We've been getting the button ungrayed out, not consistently, but just every once in a while it happens. Like maybe once every day. But there you go.
But when it's there, it's so sweet. Good to have you back, old friend.
Isn't it? Yeah. There's also a comment cut and pasted into the description from iOS user Dragons952 that has a potential solution for people on iOS having the same problem.
Yeah. So there we go. The promotion glitch, where you can promote characters that are still locked, still hasn't had the right conditions since update 2.14. Not testable, not usable, though I imagine with the new update and everything new. That's probably the last thing on anybody's minds, including ours.
Yeah, and part of me is feeling like now that we've changed the nomenclature from 2 point something to 3 point something, I'm kind of tempted to retire it now, because it looks like we're probably never going to get a chance to do it, and it's the game has changed enough that I might be willing to say now, like a year or more later, that it's done.
Yeah, we'll see.
So we'll see.
Okay.
All right, so maybe bottom line, let's talk about the update overall. And usually we talk about, is this worth upgrading?
I would say, yeah.
And it's a difficult question, because if you don't upgrade, you've already lost all the things that was good about the previous 2.21.
And see, you say that. I think
right?
that makes it not a difficult question. There's a ton of new stuff. There's, I mean, the problem is it's been long enough that the Phantom Zone is here and gone.
Yeah. Well, because the best part of the previous version was that there was the multiple season rewards glitch, and you can't access it if you don't update.
Yeah.
So it doesn't exist in the update, but you also can't access it anyways if you don't update. But the reason why I guess I'm saying it's sort of a funky kind of question is, it's like the nth metal. Is it worth spending your nth metal on the pack? The answer really is, what else are you going to spend it on? There's nothing else that you can spend nth metal on. So that's the only thing. There's no relative value to it. So yeah, it's got to be worth it. But it feels like it's not worth the time to grind it or farm it to try to get as much nth metal as you can, because what can you spend it on is something has so little incremental value that it's going to take you years anyways to save enough.
Yeah.
Even if you farm it.
Yeah, so there we go.
To get the metal characters.
A little disappointed with the way that this ended up becoming implemented. It seems a little difficult. Maybe, I don't want to say money grubby, because I have no clue how their finances are on this game at this point, but it just seems like you're gonna plateau pretty quick.
And I'm going to jump the gun a little bit. Something that I was originally going to put into our Q&C and A&T next week is that I think this update is probably the most hopeful thing in Injustice I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Because we can't ignore sort of three big facts. They introduced entirely new mechanics into the game. They screwed up parts of the game and came out with a patch fix in less than a week. And this is update 3.0.1 and not update 2.22.
Yeah. So,
and
they speak to me of
sorry,
somebody wanting to continue this game, right? Longevity.
Right. Not only somebody wanting to, but they're spending time on it. I mean, the fact that they were able to respond so quickly, it might not seem that way when when the characters that you love to play are screwed up, but all those glitches that they introduced that they fixed quickly, that's a great sign.
For sure. And that's it for Injustice. Let's talk about us for a second. You've got a Patreon. If you want to support what we do, patreon.com/bdckr, or the link in the bottom right corner at the end of this video. We'd sure appreciate it. And just to prove to you how much we do appreciate it, but really more to just show our appreciation to everybody who's already decided to support us, we're going to give them big thanks. Thank you to Console Peasant, Eddie G, and Edwin Felix, who are all supporting us at the top tier, Last Word. Got iProfit, who is supporting us at the Your Message Here tier. We got Sean Farrell and Daniel Simonson, who are supporting us on the credited level. And we also have Chris Wolf, Forrest Viking, and Laszlo Georgiades. Thank you guys all so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Komoda.